Today I have a steady stretch and strengthening class for us. So I will have you up on your feet to begin with, and we'll begin in mountain pose. Hands alongside, chest is proud, shoulders are rolling down your back. Let's reach up high, gaze is towards those fingertips, and fold forward. Releasing your head to gravity, releasing the jaw from holding tension there all day long. And just breathe into this for a few moments. You can grab opposite elbows if you like that better, giving yourself a generous bend in the knees. Come up to a halfway lift, hands along your shins or towards the floor, just creating a back that is flat, gaze is down. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step back with your right foot. Bring yourself into a low lunge, back foot flat, front foot is before your knee. Let's bring our arms overhead, reaching, making space in that rib cage. And bring your hands alongside. Step back to a plank pose. Check your posture. Make sure you're in a strong stance. You're not too low, not too high. Feeling it in the hands. Drop the knees. Come down to the mat. And we'll do baby cobra. So pushing into the hands, pressing the legs into the mat. Gaze is forward. Exhale down. Bring yourself back up. And let's do our first downward dog. So feet are about hip width apart, sending your legs back to in the back of the space, stretching out those calves, maybe doing a 1-2, walking out the legs, whatever feels good. Again, unhinge that jaw, release the tongue from the top of your mouth. We hold so much tension in our face that we don't even realize. Look to the top of your mat. Now step your left leg forward, dropping your back leg, again bringing us into that low lunge. Bring our arms up, and this time let's just open to the right. Just giving yourself a little stretch. On an inhale, bring your crown of your head to the ceiling, and on your exhale, just twist a little bit further, looking towards that back hand if that's comfortable. Come back up to center, and let's twist the other way. Just getting some heat in our body here. Bringing our arms up, plant them, step forward, release to that forward fold, and start to bring yourself up slowly, one vertebrae at a time to Tadasana, reaching your arms overhead. This time, put your palms together and begin to lean to the right. So we're doing crescent moon. So you're opening up the left hand rib cage, making space in the body. That's really what yoga is about. Just making space, slowing down. Let's come up to center, release the hands, reach high, bring them back together, and then come to the left, opening up that right rib cage, just kind of spiraling up to the ceiling if that's available. Reach high. We'll forward fold again, generous bend in the knees, reaching towards the floor, letting your head hang. You can grab your opposite elbows and sway like an elephant. Release your hands to the mat, and now step the left leg back. Right knee, get yourself stable, bringing your hands overhead. And bring your hands to the mat. Step back again to that plank. Nice job. Let's hold it here. Let's get just a couple breaths here. Focusing on pushing the mat away, pulling the core in towards the spine. And sort of doing a little bit of a tuck with your pelvis. Can feel that there? Now you can bring yourself all the way down from here, Or bring yourself to your knees and bring yourself down. Hands alongside your body. Let's push up to cobra position. You can do baby or you can push all the way up. Still legs are on the ground. Feeling that body open, bringing the shoulder blades down. One more breath. Come back towards the mat. Bring yourself up into downward facing dog. Now notice how this might feel a little bit different than your first one. You're warming up those muscles, getting things moving. You can walk it out, you can sway your hips side to side. Just play around with it. Just listen to the body. After your next exhale, let's bring that right foot forward. Bring the back foot down, low lunge. Reaching the arms overhead. And on your next exhale, twist to the right. And bring it through center. And twist to the left. Coming back up. Bring your hands alongside you. Bring that back leg up to the top. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Feel as if you're like on a swimmer's block and you're about to jump in. From here, let's bring our arms back. Just feeling that extra move with your arms. Mine tremble a little bit. Holding that core in. Release. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, your head being last, bring yourself up through Tadasana, mountain pose. Reaching high, and bring your hands to heart center. Let's just take a few cleansing breaths here. Slowing the breath down. We're getting warmed up a little bit before we start doing a little bit more strength and stretching. But I want to keep a steady pace for us to keep the heart rate up. One more inhale, reach to the sky, and forward fold. Nice work. Bending generously over those legs. Letting that head go, feeling the shoulders release. Bring yourself up and step back with that right foot. Plant that on the floor and bring yourself up to a steady position. Now, what I want us to do is we're going to be bringing this leg up. So you're going to bring the foot up and flex it. So hands are on your thigh. Bring that up and just feel it pull. You can feel it in the hamstring, almost like you're creating a cramp. Let it go. Continue to breathe. And bring that up towards your hinder again. 1, 3, 5. Let it down. And let's do that one more time. Bringing it in, flexing it in. You can look towards it. And let that down. Bring your hands down. Let's switch feet. So your right leg is forward. Back leg is out. Kind of almost hip width apart again. So hands on the leg or however you think it's comfortable, wherever you want your hands to be. And then let's bring that left foot up. Squeezing it like you want, almost like you want a cramp. Let it down. Continuing to breathe. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 4, and let it down. And one more time. Bring it in. Nice. 3. Nice job. Let's step up. Lean over the legs. Bringing yourself up. And I'm gonna have a step back into crescent lunge. So legs are pointed forward, feet are pointed, and your hips are towards the front. And now what I want you to do is begin to lean with your body over that leg in the front. So stop when you can feel that you're gonna curve your back or give in your knee. So you're really trying to stretch that hamstring. You can use blocks here too, or if you're real flexible, you can come down. But sometimes, like good friends of mine, and sometimes me, I'll use a block. Make sure my back is straight, getting that nice stretch. Okay, so now that we got that, I want us to do it 5 times. So leg is straight, begin to bend, and back. Keep a little bit of a micro bend in that knee, you don't want to extend it. And only come as far as you can keep within the position. 3. And last one, that might have been 6. And come up. Step that front leg forward. Let's step back with our left leg. You can keep that block handy if you'd like. We'll get the position down again. So up in a crescent, extend that leg. Let's just have you reach forward with the body. Again, leading with the chest. We're not trying to hunch over the leg. And grab that block if you'd like. See how my back is still flat? I'm not curving over, because the point of this is to get that stretch in that hamstring, which we all have tight hamstrings. All right, let's bring ourselves up. Get your bearings, get your stability. That's what we're challenging, that's okay. And now, hands on your hips if that's available, and begin to bend forward without compromising. 1, we'll do this 5 times. I made you do it 6 on the other. 2, and it's slow and controlled. 3, and your hamstring might be like on fire, that's okay. And last one. And come out. You can walk it off. You can rub it if they're getting real tight. That's okay. So come to the front area of your mat, or center, it doesn't really matter. What I want you to do, stand still, your feet about hip width apart. I want you to root into that right leg. So root into the right leg. You're going to be putting weight on that leg. I want you to find a place to look right now and focus on, not a moving part. Look at a speck on the carpet or a place on your mat. Find that place, and that's called a drishti. Once you find that place, begin to put your weight on that right leg. Lift the left, holding that drishti, and bring your leg forward and backwards. We're going to do this 3 times. We're just challenging your balance. Having that gaze helps to stabilize you and down. Balance is one of the hardest things for me. I'm still working on my balance, so if I fall out, that's okay. If you fall out, I'm not going to tell anybody. We're not perfect. So let's root into the left leg now. Find that drishti spot. So bringing that weight into the left. Find that spot. Begin to lift your right leg. Core is tight. It helps you stabilize. And then, however you'd like your hands, we'll do 1, 2, and 3. Nice job. You can walk it out here. And next, let's do prasarita. So bring your legs wide on the mat, a little bit bigger than hip width. Bring your arms up, reaching high, stretching all angles of your body, 5-pointed star. Then bring your hands behind your back and interlace them if you can. If that's not available, just bring your hands to your hips. But what we're going to do is, again, lead with our chest. So we're going to begin to bend forward. Leading with that chest, you can feel it in the hamstrings. Micro bend those knees if you're one of those people like me that ultra extend them, if not reminded. And bring your arms along. Now this is hard for a lot of people. We all have very tight shoulders, especially with a lot of the desk jobs. Or we're always just hunching over. So if that's not available, just bring your arms down and just breathe into your back. This is like one of my very, very favorite poses. Gives you a different view on life. You're looking upside down. You're breathing differently. Feel free to walk from one side to the other or reach in between your legs, whatever your body's calling for. One more breath here. Nice work. Bring your hands underneath your head and push yourself up. Kind of a halfway lift. If we come up too fast, we can get ourselves a little dizzy. So come back down and walk your hands to the front. Bring yourself up. And we're going to do gorilla pose next. It's not a technical yoga term, but that's what they call it when I learned yoga. So we're going to bring ourselves down, lift up your feet, and put your hands underneath your feet. And that you can walk on them. Obviously don't do this in high heels. But gorilla pose, I always thought this was silly, but you're actually able to use your feet as a way to strengthen and stretch your shoulders. So if you bend the elbows outward, you're stretching that back and that space that's really hard to stretch. Or if you just relax into it, it's a nice stretch up the glutes, up the glutes in your back. Bring yourself up, halfway lift. Bringing your feet together, root to rise, up to mountain pose. Now let's do a yogi squat. You can use a blanket or a block, whatever feels good when we're going to come down into this. So we're going to have our feet outside edges of the mat and we're going to come down. And if you would like to sit on something, or if this is too intense, you can skip this and just do a stretch with your legs out right now. But bring yourself up, hands to heart center. And here you should be able to feel the stretch in both of your groins here. You get a very good inner thigh stretch. And feel free to go to one side and stretch that. We did some work on those hamstrings, so we'll want to stretch those. And then let the other leg out. Bringing yourself back up, feet in the same position. Kind of squat them a little bit. We're going to get a little bit of rotation in the arms. So from here, bring your right arm up into the air, looking at it, and then turn it the opposite way. So you should feel the stretch kind of in the back here of that rotator. Bring it back to center and open. And then let's do 3 backward circles. You can come up in the legs if you want. It's just an extra. And let's do 3 the other way. Then come back down. Reach that arm up, looking at it. Then open it. So you should feel it here. Kind of a hard spot to stretch. Bring it back in. Open. And then let's do 3 back. and 3 forward. Bring yourself down onto the mat. Letting yourself come all the way down. And feet are about hip width apart. And we're going to do just a couple bridges, just easy bridge. Hands alongside, press into the heels. Squeeze the knees together, squeeze the glutes. Pulling the core in towards that spine. I know I said it was easy and that's a lot of instruction. But come back down. I challenge you on this next one to smile the entire time we're up there. Because smiling changes our whole attitude. And come back down. Bringing the knees in. And let's do some windshield wipers. So knees, feet to the outside edges of the mat. And let's just go back and forth. Just opening up the lower back. Bringing the knees in. Let's come up. Bring yourself around on the mat here in tabletop position. Let's do a couple cat and cow just to warm up the spine before we do a couple cobras and push-ups. So from here, hands are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And for cat, we'll round the back, looking towards our navel. And cow, you breathe in, look up, belly comes down, seat bones towards the ceiling, and let's go again, cat, pushing into the arms, and cow. Come back to neutral spine, back up your knees a little bit, keeping your hands where they are. We're going to do 3 push-ups from here. So let's go down 1, keeping your elbows in, 2, and 3. Good job. Come back to child's pose. Let's stretch those arms out, reaching forward. If you want it to be an active pose, you can lift the fingertips up, move your hands from one side or the other, or just stay steady. Coming back up to that tabletop position. Now this time, I challenge you to try at least 1 push-up. If that is not available to you, you can use the one we just used. Bringing the feet up into plank position. And I'll give you one other challenge. On this time, bring yourself down with your left leg high, right leg high, and next push-up with your left leg high. You can always come back to this. It's always there for you. Do 2 more. And push back. Nice work. Come down onto the mat, onto your stomach. We're going to do spatula pose. Head is straight down. Right arm is out. You're going to bring your left leg, bend it. Start to roll towards your right arm. Now, take it easy if you've never done this before. It can be hard on your shoulder if you have bad shoulders. Breathe into this. Try to spiral the ribs open. And come back. And we'll do the other side. Left arm out. Right leg over. You can have the fingertips here. You can do a bind. Whatever feels good for you. This is your class. Bring it back to the center. Pushing yourself up to tabletop position. Back up into down dog. I want us to do some full body stretching here. So look at your hands. Look at your feet. Walk into both legs. Open up the fingers. Open up those fingertips. Make sure they're awake. Stretching out the calves, maybe giving yourself a couple calf raises. Notice how much more open your body feels, how much more fluidity you have. Bring yourself to a plank. And let's just stay here for a few minutes. Not few minutes, few seconds. Maybe in the next class. And step forward. Come to a seated position. You can sit on a block if you'd like, if that feels better. And want to end with eagle arms. So bring your arms out to the side. Bring your right arm underneath your left arm. Bring them together. And if that is a good stretch for you, stay there. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, bring your elbows up and your chin down. So your elbows become in line with your shoulder blades. If that doesn't feel good to you, give yourself a loving hug, because that does a lot of the same with your right arm under. Stretching into those shoulder blades. And come. Switch how you had your legs. Put the other one in. Arm out. Then bring your right over your left. And we'll do the same thing. Bringing the elbows up, chin down, core is tight. Sitting up straight. Let's reach up and come down to prayer position. And we will end the practice with Namaste, meaning the spark within me honors the spark within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel looser, stronger, and ready to take on whatever is rest of the day or the week. See you next time, guys.